Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's for a taxi listing, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about taxi in quite a while. I didn't even know they're still going strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Were you ever in taxi?
I never was. No, I never.
Oh, okay.
I did last week's thing, by the way, last week's challenge.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. There's no need to listen to it. It's okay. I just wanted to let you know I did it.
Oh, no, that's great. If we have time, we'll go back to it and take a listen to it. I'm streaming live today through YouTube. I'm going to try this out.
Oh,
Before, but you can basically go from Zoom and stream straight into YouTube. So we'll see what this does and see if anybody joins us. Hey, Greg.
will it save on YouTube?
Yeah, it'll save
Okay.
it. Yep, it'll save it there.
Cool.
Just want to let you guys know. So full disclosure.
Good.
Cool. All right, guys, we are going live. So I was hoping Suzanne would join us, but I guess she's not available right now. But if for those who are watching or checking us out on YouTube, if there's anybody out there, if you want to join us, you can just go to you'reonthehook.com and you can register and get the emails and get the games. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking all about, let's pull this up. Today's game is Marching Madness. So how many of you guys have ever worked with marching drums before?
I have. I have.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I am a little bit partial to marching drums because I played marching drums in high school. Just for a little while. I was kind of late to the game. I started my junior year, and so I was really having to compete with people that had been doing it for years. But that's around the time I started playing drums as well. And hey, Suzanne, thanks for joining us. So anyway, I thought what would be fun for this one is I'm going to give you guys a drum groove and a marching drum groove, and your job is to put some elements to it. So you should see this game now opened up. You're going to download the drum groove, make it into a song with a bass line. So the bass can either be, a real bass or synth bass or tubas or whatever you feel like. You can go way outside the box here. It doesn't have to end up being a marching song, but the drums are obviously very much marching drums. Halfway through it, a little tom fill at the end.
Cool.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with that. I am going to stay on and I'm going to just stream my work. I don't know if this is going to work. So if anybody is on YouTube or whatever, they can just follow along. And so I'm going to just stay on the Zoom call. But you guys, I don't expect you guys to stay. Go work on the assignment and come back and upload it. Let's see, bonus points if you use any other marching band elements. So horns or xylophones or something, maybe the flag team somehow incorporate that into it. I'm just kidding. But incorporate something from marching band into this as well. I think that could be cool. Whistles, you got to.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Whistles work. And so I'm racking my brain thinking about what kind of percussion do I have, or horns and stuff like that.
Right.
But let's see if we can create a line. So that's going to create some kind of chord progression with a bass line that's moving it. And if you can have a little bit of melody or just something very simple that you're cycling through, I think that would be really, really cool. Feel free to change the tempo on this. I think this was 101. It was the BPM. Okay, but feel free to change it to whatever you want. But as always, remember this is an MP3. So when you pull it into your DAW, you may have to line up the beats a little bit because it won't always fall exactly on the grid, and that's okay. But just remember that. Most of the time when you work with other producers and artists, they're going to give you files that don't completely line up. And so this is a good practice.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go forth. Again, I will stay online, and I will see you guys at the top of the hour. Same Zoom link.
Okay.
Then you're on the hook. Bye.
See you later.
Alrighty.
See you soon. All right. I'm going to share. So for anybody following along, I'm going to just be working on this, and you're welcome to listen in and follow along if you want. I will be back online. I will be back talking to people at the top of the hour. So in about an hour, I'll come back online. So here we go. Let's make this happen. I'm going to mute myself here.
hello.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
We're supposed to talk amongst ourselves.
We can gossip about Zion behind his back.
Huh? Well, we are still streaming on YouTube, it looks like.
That's the perfect place to start all kinds of nasty rumors.
Oh yeah. I hear that that Zion, man, he voted for Trump once.
Oh, come on now, let's keep this civil.
Uh-oh. Interesting. I was hearing a rattling in here. How you been, Greg?
Pretty good, very busy. How about you?
Good and busy. Sounds like the name of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Where are you, Suzanne? Where are you? Where do you live?
I'm right here. And here is Los Angeles. How about you?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. We're
Right,
practically
yeah, no distance at all.
it's funny. I'm actually wearing anytime I wear this shirt, it's the Minnesota Child.
Mhm.
That's my friend's band, and every time I wear this shirt, people will assume that I'm from Minnesota.
Sure, yep.
And that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from you. Not California.
Yeah.
But today I'm repping Minnesota and I have no connections to Minnesota other than Prince is great. Mystery Science Theater is great.
Second that, but so you're a Midwest poser, in other words.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much.
Everybody wishes they were from Minnesota or Wisconsin. It's the places to be from, absolutely, worldwide.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Looks like we have somebody else.
Robert, but he's not here yet.
There's somebody named Brenna.
Oh, cool.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yay, more ladies.
I think it's a lady.
Oh yeah, I guess I
Oh no! Oh wait, now Brenna. No, it wouldn't be. Do you guys know Ian Musgrove? Ian Musgrove.
No, I don't.
Familiar.
That would be him, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, because he uses his wife's name in his email. So I don't know. I'm just
Okay. Maybe.
Cool. All right, guys, let's dive in. Welcome back, everybody. Was that crazy or was that crazy?
That was crazy, Zion. That was hard.
Good.
Yeah.
Fun.
I can't wait to hear what you got out of it and what you learned. It was intense for me as well. And because
Yeah.
I was live streaming. So the whole time I'm conscientious of,
Yeah.
is this somebody watching? I don't think anybody watched, but
Unless Brenna was a watcher, who knows?
That's right.
yeah, that's true.
Did you check the comments and see if anybody
I haven't yet. No.
Oh, maybe somebody was watching and was like was talking back at you.
All right. Greg, let's start with yours since you were first. Okay, let's do it. fantastic.
All right, great.
Well done.
Cool.
Very good.
Man, that had just such good groove, and
Yeah.
you picked the perfect bass sound. I can't distinguish, like, I don't know enough about basses to know how to, get that sound, but it cut through really well.
So that's actually the bass plugin from Cakewalk, which is free. And so if you install Cakewalk, you can use their VSTs and other DAWs as well.
Cakewalk.
And it's got some really nice natural sounding bass tones to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so worth checking out.
Isn't that called Sonar? Or
But
still
it's
called Cakewalk?
I started with Cakewalk many years ago.
In the late 90s was my
Yes.
Wow.
I'm looking it up again here because so they got acquired by BandLab, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're still calling it
Okay.
Oh, okay.
BandLab was working on their own like sort of online DAW, and then they just kind of acquired Cakewalk instead. And I may be getting the details of the history wrong. Basically, it's a fantastically full-featured, completely free DAW.
Yeah.
Which I barely bothered to use because I'm so into Reaper and Bitwig, but the some of the plugins that come with it are great. So
Is it actually called Cakewalk?
it's called Cakewalk. Yep.
Yeah.
They kept the name. Okay.
Yeah, because Cakewalk and BandLab is still the DAW-based thing. They're just the same company, and they have different products. So the DAW-based, the web-based DAW is still there. But what I usually do every Monday, actually, I live stream like we're doing right now. With a fellow producer, we actually do a co-write, and she's on Cakewalk, and there's a big resurgence ever since it became free and
Wow.
compatible with BandLab, so it's really easy. And I've been thinking about like switching over a little bit to Cakewalk because my songwriting students,
Mhm.
need free and easy things that are really powerful.
Right.
So yeah, look into Cakewalk. It's still around and it's still kicking.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I remember years ago, the very first friend that I saw that had oh shoot. Am I on mute?
No, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
The very first time I saw somebody produce music on a computer, I was probably 1998. And my friend Quincy back in Dallas, he had a setup, and he was an incredible pianist and synthesizers, and he would just sing and just start making music. But the MIDI back then didn't have a piano roll.
Right.
And it would just have a grid and show a dot that you did something there. You didn't know what it was.
Yes. Right.
It was the funniest thing.
That's what I had. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a new person, Brenna. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Where are you located?
Hi, I'm in Maryland, and so I've been kind of wanting to jump in, but Saturdays are usually a little charged for me with gigs and stuff. So I had a rainy day, and I got a chance to jump in. And I am a newbie producer. I'm just learning.
Awesome.
So I'm using things like Apple Loops and Logic plugins right now. I know, I've got very little, but I'm just trying to practice as much as I can and get in those 10,000 hours.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for doing this. It's great. It was so much fun.
Good.
Yeah.
So we started actually the Zoom call back on, did you discover this through YouTube, or how did you discover it?
I think through your Facebook page, because I was a Catch the Moon student a long time ago, and then I follow some of your stuff. And so anytime you've got something going on, I've been paying attention from afar.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you joined us. It's so good.
Yeah.
Also to have more women producers is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. So we just listened to Greg's. That was amazing. You knocked it out of the park. I love this. You have some synthesizer stuff in there that has kind of a throwback sound to it. And I love that because it felt like you're kind of borrowing tones and textures from some 80s sort of synth. I don't know what it was that you used, but it reminded me of like modern mixed with a little bit of old school. And I thought that was really cool as well.
Thank you.
Did you learn anything from this one, or was it?
Just like initially getting started, I was kind of surprised to realize that I don't have a good go-to brass sound or like set of presets or even which synthesizer to use. I was kind of just stumped at first, like, well, I want to get something brassy in there, but no idea where to go. So that took a little digging around.
I can show you a few ones when we get to mine. I'll show you a couple that took me a long time to find, so it might help you.
Awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, that is definitely a challenge on that. But well done, loved it. Suzanne, let's jump to yours. Dude, that was so good.
Woo!
Well done. That bass line was kick ass. When did you come up with that? Did it just come out of your head?
Left hand. Yeah.
Oh man. It reminded me so much of oh shoot, what was that? It's a famous really cool instrumental song from back in the 90s. I can't remember what it's on.
I can hear that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't picture it.
Goes like that. Is that what you're thinking of?
Which one?
Spoon Man kind of goes like that.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. So tell us about your process.
Yeah. What is about my process? My process is I wrote it in my notes, but I learned that anytime this starts and you go, okay, you're on the hook, I go and get like toast and tea. It's just a little ritual. It's like, all right, it's time to create and
I do too. I gotta go.
get settled in.
Oh
And
man.
that takes up, 5-10 minutes.
Right.
That
I
is
could do that
funny.
before the Zoom call, but I never think about it before the Zoom call.
That toast is worth it, huh?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I was just messing around mostly with I have these, Spitfire Audio is fantastic, Labs is fantastic, and I always come across these these virtual instruments that are just like weird and out of tune and like kind of the bumblebee trumpets in there. So I wanted to choose things that were marching band instruments but had a weird
Yeah.
bent to them. And so the pad that you hear in there is actually flutes. They're like really breathy flutes.
Oh,
And and the horns are just they call them bumblebee horns, and they're just all over the place. As I was making the toast and tea, I did have like the drum beat on loop. I didn't do
Okay.
much with the drum beat. It was as is. I just stuck it in there.
Yeah.
And then the bass line kind of came to me. It was like a little bit a mix of actually a mix of Miss Independent by Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I love
Miss Independent.
this.
And some random Oingo Boingo song that I remember from as a kid. I can't even remember what it was. Anyway. And yeah, I think listening back to it, I kind of like the emerging chaos, but I feel like I still could use more practice in mixing and carving out EQ. Because this particular thing is more focused on composition and filling out the frequency ranges. So I had like the low mid pads, and then I had little things up top. And then looking back, I think I'd like to spend time instead of doing 100% composition, actually spend time with mixing, practicing, and putting in the reps for mixing, because I'm still very, very new at mixing.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you can kind of do a little of both in these. Or concentrate on one, like maybe just put one good thing in and then just concentrate on mixing it however you want to do it. But That was really, really good. Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
It grabbed me from the very beginning, just immediately grabbed me. Yeah,
Cool.
you too, Robert.
Yep, it did. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
really good. So well done.
Thanks all.
All right. Tea and toast. That's what I'm gonna get. That'll help me next time.
I know.
Same here.
And I get away with it, like my brain gets away with it because I did have the drum loop and on speaker while I was fixing the tea and toast.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, can you add 10 minutes onto us so
yeah,
we can all do that?
tea time.
Yeah.
All right, Bev, let's listen to yours.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, very cool. So it sounds like you mixed some loops together. Is that right?
Yes, I'm still at the loop stage.
Totally
And-
fine. Don't
Thank
feel
you.
guilty about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some people build their entire careers off of the loop stage. Don't even.
So true.
Mhm.
Thank you. But I spent so much time looking for a darn whistle. And I, as my husband said, oh, I don't get you one. I said, no, don't. That's okay. And so my point, I know, my basic idea, what I forgot, I didn't forget the bass. I said, oh, I'll get to that later. But of course I didn't get to it. So I probably spent too much time looking around and trying so many different things out, right? That I still ended up with something, that I like. But the thing is, if I could just, because I'm not as advanced anyway, but if I could just stick to one thing and practice with that for a second instead of going off trying to find 10 other different things to fit it, right? So that's my thing.
I truly believe a huge amount of time that every producer goes through is trying to learn how to quickly get to the instruments they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
And that takes years. And the only way to do it is just to keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Keep organizing. This week, your challenge, Bev, is to find a hook or a whistle, either a plug-in or something, or a live whistle that anytime you want it, you can grab it and you know where it is.
Yeah. Good
And
point.
if you just did that
Yes.
each week, just find one thing and you know exactly where to get it. Because when you're in the momentum of creating, if you're having to stop and look for that snare drum, it just kills your energy.
Yes.
And I have become very, very adamant about not letting things like that kill your momentum, because you'll never finish the song if you do. If that happens, if you have 8 of those in a row, you'll just stop.
Okay.
So love it. You get bonus points for adding those horns. The horns sounded really great in there. I like the chants way off in the background. There's like people.
Good
Or
ear.
something. Yeah. Where did you get those? Splice?
Gospel chants from Logic.
From Logic. Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That could really work. I did feel like the second beat you put on top
Yes.
of this beat
Yes.
clashed a little bit. But that was
Yes.
the only thing I felt like wasn't quite. But that's all right.
Yes. Yeah. I love this class. Thanks, Sign. It's just really inspiring to me. So I appreciate it.
Well, what I hope it does for all of us is, besides just being able to be creative, it helps us get organized. It forces you to get organized, and because it's doing that to me. I did this for myself to make myself be on the hook. And so I'm glad it's helping you guys as well, because otherwise, you make one song and it's, emerald green in flavor, and then you don't touch emerald green again for 3 years because you're working on, you know what I mean? And after a while you have all these sort of one way of doing this and one way of doing that. And instead of just constantly working it and mixing it and pushing it and mixing it, and it's like using all the instruments in the kitchen all the time. And that's why I like to throw different genres at you and stuff. But well done. Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
That was great. I love that you're here with us.
Yeah.
Brenna, can we go to yours? All right.
Sure.
That was cool.
Out of the box. I love that.
That was cool.
It's like a great fusion of these Middle Eastern type instruments, or
Yep.
I think they're Middle Eastern.
That's what I felt.
Yeah, they're just
Clarinet
loops.
thing.
Well, they're mostly loops. I did a couple of loops. The thing is a violin,
Oh,
and a couple of other Middle Eastern kind of loopy rhythms in between. And then I just picked some world instruments and dipped them really low. So like the bass is actually a zither,
Yeah, it works.
but I took it down to the bass range. Yeah. So I just kind of messed around with the octaves of the instruments and then layered those on top of each other.
Holy cow. That is really
That was
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first started, I'm like, where is this going? How is
Right?
how is the drum beat gonna fit
What
there?
the?
I gotta
Well,
see it again.
I was looking for something to kind of lead into that. Yeah.
Yeah, those sounds like tablas. Those
Mhm.
that's the Indian drum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where did you get the violin loop?
Logic. Sorry, Apple. Yeah, Apple loops.
That was bad.
That was nice.
That little trill right into that. Oh, that is cool.
so good.
Thanks.
It is amazing when you one of the things, going back to Bev, you're talking about doing loops.
Yep.
Sometimes just the manipulation of loops and knowing how to stretch them to fit what you're doing, to change one note to make it fit the progression, make it fit the intervals and chord, can be so valuable. When I first started using loops, I thought I was just kind of cheating or something like that. But I quickly found that you can't always just throw a loop on top of each other. A lot of times you have to manipulate it.
That's what's
And-
fun. Yeah.
And you end up coming up with stuff that was never created before. And sometimes you have to recreate it. Depends on, where you got the loop, but you got to be careful using loops because of
Right.
copyright issues. But if you can manipulate it enough or after you put the loop in, go, okay, now that I know what I'm going for, I'm going to recreate that part.
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
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 And now it's your own. And so
One
interesting.
note on that real quick, if I may.
Yeah,
When
please.
you're looking to recreate loops, anything that'll do audio to MIDI is super, super helpful. Any plugin or some DAWs have it native, I know, where it'll just read over the audio and give you the corresponding MIDI notes, and it makes it so much easier than actually trying to, paint it in or play it in or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, Melodyne does that incredibly well. It can take a chord, it can take strumming or piano, like chords, polyphonic notes, and put them out and create. It's crazy. And
Yep.
it's accurate. You can have a chord being played. If one note is wrong, you can go in with the audio and change it in Melodyne. It's bizarre. It's total magic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look for that. Melodyne is something I don't have yet, but I need to get.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Melodyne. I actually use it.
Very powerful.
I've heard great things, and I'm in a group called Secret Chord Music, and we have a producer, Tony Serzo, and he's got it. So I've kind of relied on him taking care of things like that.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be messing around, like I'd like to take this and start working on it actually as a part of a piece, So
I hope you do. Please.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And tell your friends about this group.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah. If you enjoy it.
Absolutely. This was great. Because I didn't have a whole lot of time, I just opened up loops and just grabbed whatever I could find and then said, okay, make that work. And that made it much more.
Takes out a lot of the decision making. You can't.
Yeah, no pressure, just fun.
Yep, just fun. And you end up coming up with things that you wouldn't normally come up with. because
Right,
you're not
right.
trying to dial in that snare.
Yeah, that's right.
That's me.
Yeah, me too. All right, Robert, let's check yours out, man. Ooh, that's hot.
Hot.
So cool.
Yeah, those drum fills, man. Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to feel it.
That was amazing.
Did you play those out?
Yeah, yeah. It was a
Man.
contact instrument called session horns,
Uh-huh.
and it's got
Yeah.
trombones, saxophones, and all kind of stuff in it. And I just kind of just play. I like the way it does because you can play soft and it'll do soft. I don't have to use the controllers or anything. It's just the way I play it. And if you hit it real hard, it'll swell in or
Mhm.
swell out. And I really love that program. So
Did you use any of the little built-in melodies in that?
no, everything I played,
You
I
played
just played
it?
it. I just played it out.
Wow.
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
You got some talent, boy.
Because you
Yeah.
guys are talking about loops, and I always had a question about loops, and Greg kind of hit on it a little bit. And I also thought about YouTube because there are times that I hear something on YouTube and I'll take that and like a little snippet of it, even if it's like a drum groove from YouTube, and I'll make something from it.
Wow.
I'll alter it or whatever. Or if I use a loop, which I rarely do, I'll do like you guys said, you manipulate it to a point where it's not really recognizable from the original or something like that. Or I've got programs where you can, I can't remember if it's called splice or regenerate or whatever, but it'll take a loop and cut it up and then it'll reformat it in different ways. So
Ooh,
it's nowhere near the original because
love it.
it's redone, but it's all using all of the drums or the whatever that's inside the loop.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember the name of the program. I have to
That would
pull
be
it up. And
Look that up for us.
yeah, but I love that program because it can regenerate anything.
Ooh, that is
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, it just
There was
cuts it
some-
up and regenerates it. But I always wanted to know, I mean, is that good to do if you're using loops or if you're using something off of YouTube?
I mean, it's got to be unrecognizable. YouTube
okay.
algorithms are pretty damn good and they can identify stuff pretty fast. I was just talking to a licensing agent. She had 2 songs within the same week that had a guitar part that at first, the first one came through and she's like, this is great. And she signed it to her catalog. And then she got another song and she's like, that is so much like it. And she sent me the file and I said, I know that loop.
Oh,
And it's
no.
from Splice. It was a lo-fi like piano guitar loop. And because I've used it in lo-fi music but I warp it and do crazy things to it.
Okay.
And so I actually knew the exact loop and took her right to it. And she's like, holy shit, why are people using this stuff? Because it's going to get her in trouble. If that ends up getting a licensing hit, she could lose her job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's extremely important to stay away from loops and stuff. And these are from 2 really good seasoned producers that should have known better. And yeah, so it happens a lot, but I would actually make a rule of thumb. If you're going to send anything out to YouTube, to your channel, to your audience, to a licensing agent, to a studio, when it leaves your computer, it should all be original stuff. If you use a loop and you're sold on it, you better manipulate the hell out of it to make it not recognizable by any algorithm. So change notes, distort it, bury it with a bunch of other frequencies around it, or just don't do it. I use them for inspiration mainly to get me on the path where I'm going. And then I usually start taking them out. It's just I just don't want to get into trouble because I don't want to be that producer that, that's like, oh, he's that guy that tries to get away with using loops. It's like, no, I'll use them. I think they're very valuable because they get you on the right path. They give you ideas. They can take you to places that you didn't think of, but you can replace them. Just replace them once you love what you're doing. If it's a loop, like a percussion thing buried in something, that's totally fine. That's not going to probably cause any kind of issue. I'm talking about melodic melody, chords, tonal loops.
I was going to ask about that because like with this drum beat, for example, would we be able to just use it as is, or do we need to cut up, move it around, etc.?
You can. This is actually from a sample pack that I purchased. So you would probably, if you love that, you would have to, if anybody ever questioned you, you'd have to show that you purchased that sample pack.
I see.
You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But sample packs are meant to be used in music. You're allowed to do that as long as you don't sell their sample pack as a sample pack. That's their own.
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay.
You can't put it on YouTube and say, hey, here's some samples. Subscribe to my channel. Well, that's a copyright infringement because you're using it for the exact same thing. But if you've purchased samples, you can use them. Again, I still say be very careful because it means everybody else can also. So
Yeah.
you might write a song. A big part of it is if it's featured, like if in the song you just use the drum track that I had, there was one spot in the song that's just the drums, none of your other instruments are playing. Well, then the algorithms can see that immediately. And if anybody ever did the same thing with that loop, it would look like you duplicated their song. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
if you're going to use a
Super
loop,
helpful.
even percussion, don't use it by itself. Something needs to be with it. It's allowed because you've paid for a license to do it, but you don't want your song to ever come up as a copyright infringement against another person's song that used that same loop. Does that make sense?
It does. I've got a situation where I've actually written whole songs, but I don't think I would ever put them out. And what I did was, if you go to like Guitar Center, they have Guitar Center drum offs, drummers competitions.
Yeah.
And sometimes the drummers are not playing with like a track or something like that. They're just doing stuff on their own. And I would take that and make a song from it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't think I can put this out because YouTube would notice it. So I just use it for myself.
Yeah, then that's fine. And then what you could do is after you've created a song, find a drummer, or you're a drummer yourself, aren't you, Robert?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
on keyboards. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you could find a drummer and say, hey, I use this to start with. Can you give me a piece that's in the same vein of
Gotcha.
And now it gives them a great place to start with because I see what you basically said. I've written the song around this amazing drum part.
Right.
I need you to make your own that fits this.
Yeah, they have some excellent drum guys on Guitar Center drum offs.
Oh.
Every year they got the competition going on. And it's like you hear some of the weirdest and craziest stuff. And it's like, wow.
It's intimidating to me. I don't know why. When I was a drummer, I'd be in the Guitar Center and my friends would be like, jump on the drums and play something. I'm just like, I got to be with my band. And, I hate it. I'm just not a performer though.
Yeah.
All right. We're going a little over time, so I'm going to jump to mine. Is there anybody else forgot? Nope. I think I got it all. All right. And this, you'll see the horns I used on this, Greg. So those are, I used to use session horns all the time. I still love session horns, by the way. It's just that it doesn't allow you a whole lot of flexibility in customizing things in session horns, unfortunately. And it's kind of a small thing. I found, and it took a lot of time to find this. If you go to AS, what's the word? Attack, decay, sustain, release sounds.com, ADSR sounds. They have one called, it's a plugin called Brazen. And I can't, some of these sites, I can't ever find what I'm looking for. I can just show you my DAW. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let me stop sharing here. And I use two different kinds. So one is brazen, which I love. And sometimes I'll just use it sparingly, just like one note on the every 8 bars in a song or something, just that kind of thing. Let me load this up for you guys. And the other one is made by starts with an S. It's not Spitfire, but I'll show you here. Okay, so this one is made by can you see this plugin up here? Sound Paint. Okay, Sound Paint. I just discovered this one. I'm still not sure I like it that much, but it's actually more flexible. It allows for pitch bending. Brazen, for some reason, is not programmed to do pitch bends, which is annoying to me. If I play this. So that's a nice, horns. And then I have 3 other ones. I've got a tuba that comes in here, or it's like low horns. That was my version of the bass line. This is brazen. It's a very simple program, but it's got a lot of great presets. And then I use another version of brazen here. And this was like a higher version, full section. Very staccato though. And then that's more kind of like trumpet. Just a little more what would you call it? French horn sounding. That's all together in that. So I added some little vocal effects and stuff that I pulled from Exhale. But yeah, that's kind of how I did it. I'm not sure I'm crazy about the actual part, the performance, but it's just what I came up with real quick, and I just had to run with it. But it's fun.
So on the YouTube live, will we be able to see you make that?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, if it all recorded, it says it's still live right now. So
yeah.
And anytime you go live on YouTube, it automatically records. So if you go to the channel, but I can post it to the Triple Threat page or the.
That'd be great.
Group.
Yes, do that, please.
Okay.
So it's like the layering that gives it that full sound of more realistic, because synth horns are so not realistic, and it's really hard to get anything that sounds passable. But that sounded so much better because of the layers and the reverb and all of that combined with the beat. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Exactly. It gives it. One of my favorite composers is Hans Zimmer. I think he's everybody's favorite composer. Yeah. But he's got in the movie Inception. I don't know if you've seen that movie. The soundtrack in that has these horn sections that are huge. In fact, it's the biggest horn section ever recorded. They had like 40 or 50 horns just all playing together in this giant amphitheater to make this sound. And this isn't soundtrack like, but it has that kind of impact is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a trumpet part. I'm looking for that heavy horn stuff, which is really in right now, by the way.
Super in. Yeah. Wow.
It doesn't have to be very complicated. It can be super simple. Like just, you could have a song and just every once in a while, and that's it. It doesn't even have to have a big part to it, but it's just the effect of those horns give it a lot of weight in the song. So I'm always on the search for new horn programs, and I really like Brazen is just right out of the box, just amazing. Every patch in here. I'll just show you a couple of the patches. So like, let's just listen to this. So that's real staccato. Oops. It's a little faster. You can really tell difference in these.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's mixing low synths and stuff with it.
Okay.
Synth tuba. So it's got a lot of growl and grit to it. You can really hear that brass in it. So yeah, I like just kind of mixing those together and putting them in here and there.
Would that happen to be a free program?
No, but it was cheap. And it's actually
Okay.
part of a program called Roses. Roses, I think, is the group of software, but it comes with Brazen. But I think I had to buy Rose. I don't know.
27 bucks for Roses. I was looking for it here because Brazen is hard to find on it. Like it's hard to even find links to it. So yeah, it's
crazy bad.
it's part of Roses.
Can you put the link right here in the chat?
Yeah.
Just did, yeah.
Okay.
27 bucks. So
Wow.
I'm buying it just for that. Even like there's a ton of stuff in here, but I'll pay 27 bucks just for Brazen.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I don't even know if I've installed any of the other things in there, but there's Apex Guitars, Slap House Essentials, Gems. Yeah, I love Echo Soundworks. They have some of the best tutorials and best, like if you can name any synth software you have, Omnisphere, Silent, Logic Synth, Ableton, what are some of the other Massive? You can name any instrument just about, look up what, and they'll have tons of patches for every kind of instrument you can think of. They're constantly just coming out with patches and sounds and stuff for anything. So I really love them. I think their website's shit, but I really love their stuff, and their videos are fantastic too. You got really great tutorial videos on all kinds of stuff. I don't even know where they're located, but they're amazing. Anyway.
Quick question. You talked about Hans Zimmer and Inception or whatever. Would it be out of the norm or out of the direction of this group if you were to post like a scene and we had to compose to that scene?
It wouldn't be outside of this. No,
Oh,
not at all. I think that's actually a really clever idea. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That
Yeah,
would
it's
be
out of my
fun.
comfort zone too. But I love it. I love that idea. And actually a lot of DAWs, I think even with Ableton, you can drop a video in so that when you're composing,
Oh
it's
my gosh.
running with the video. I've never done it, but I think
I've done that, and it's so mind-opening because you're like, oh, that's where I need the pause. Okay. You don't need to go back and forth.
that would be fun. That sounds really
Yeah.
good. I'd have to find something that's copyright free though, because if we put it onto if we stream it to YouTube or whatever, then we're going to get all kinds of problems.
Or just use your phone and post something around the house.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, you come up with a movie.
Or like get a student film or something that might want some, that would be kind of fun.
That's a good idea. I don't know any student filmmakers though, but that is a good idea.
Cool.
Interesting.
Great idea, though. All right. Well, thank you guys. I think we better just sign off and do it again next week. Next week, I'm actually going to be in Palm Springs visiting friends out there, but I'm going to still do this. It's just going to be, I'll be working just on my laptop with a headset and having to be creative in a different way.
So we should be prepared to have like bongo drums and ukuleles ready to go.
Probably.
And a whistle.
And a whistle. Yeah.
All right. Same time next week. And I will see you then. Tell your friends.
Awesome.
Invite
I
people.
certainly will. Thank
Yes,
you. This
sir.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just send them to you'reonthehook.com.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Free.
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
You guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.